Everyone has a time in their life when they were children, playing with joy and dreaming big. Today, we are going to tell you a story that explores the dark corners of childhood, but ultimately leads to a path of goodness. As you listen, you'll be enchanted and warmed by this tale, where you will witness the struggle between good and evil. Here is the story of a little troublemaker who couldn't escape his own consequences. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled among lush green trees, there was a child who looked as cheerful and sweet as any other. But this child was different from the rest. His name was Ethan, and though he appeared to be as lovable as the other children, he harbored a dark streak of mischief. Ethan loved to cause trouble instead of playing joyfully with his friends in the village square. He would take a small stone and hide it in his friends' shoes just to see them stumble. Sometimes he would hide their ball, and at other times he would scratch his friends' backs without a second thought. But strangely, after each act of mischief, Ethan would always face a consequence. Whenever he did something wrong, some trouble would immediately find him, and he had to pay the price for his actions. One day, Ethan destroyed the old wooden swing under the big pine tree, which was the favorite spot of the village children. He laughed to himself, thinking about how much fun he had. But by evening, dark clouds covered the sky, and a fierce storm broke out. Ethan found himself alone in the midst of the storm. It was then that he realized he was suffering the consequences of his misdeeds. Another day, Ethan stirred up the water in the small pond by the edge of the village, causing all the fish to flee. That night, Ethan had a terrible dream. In the dream, the fish told him they were very sad about what he had done and believed that he would face punishment before he could learn from his mistakes. Ethan woke up from the dream and began to understand that consequences were always intertwined with wrongdoing. Every day, Ethan's mischiefs and the resulting consequences became stories shared among the village children. His tales of trouble and punishment turned into a folktale told by the village elders. The elders used this story to teach children that no misdeed goes unpunished and to highlight the beauty of doing good deeds. One day, Ethan received a great lesson. He met an old wise man outside the village. The wise man told Ethan that it is not mischief, but kindness that brings true happiness to a person. Ethan realized the true beauty of following the path of goodness and helping others. From that day on, Ethan began to assist the village children and teach them wonderful things. The memories of Ethan's past mischiefs became a story woven into the fabric of village folklore. Now, Ethan was remembered as a child who had learned from his mistakes and walked the path of kindness. The village children learned from Ethan's story, finding both joy and lessons in the tale. And so, our story comes to an end. Ethan's journey reminds us that every wrongdoing has its own consequence, and that goodness always prevails. Remember that every action has a reaction, and the best path is to treat others with kindness. Now, close your eyes and think about Ethan's story as you find ways to make your own good deeds. And the tale is over, but may the lesson stay with you always.